pack a bag as we show you another travel destination on Long Island.
Hello and welcome. My name is Ellen Busch. We are in historic Orient, New York, in front of the Oysterponds Historical Society. Oysterponds used to be the communities of Orient and East Marion. East Marion is across the causeway and we are in Orient today. It's a small community. It's much more New England than it is New York, in my opinion. It's a farming community with deep roots in history, family, in community spirit that we hear so much about. There's a peaceful flow of life where people are genuinely interested in how you're doing. Behind me is the Historical Society. This is the old Point Schoolhouse that used to be down closer to Orient Point. And next to me is Village House, which is the original home of Augustus Griffin, the diarist and historian for Southold Town. Augustus Griffin had an unusually long life. He was born shortly before the Revolution, and he lived until after the Civil War. He kept a diary for over 60 years of his life, a very detailed diary, and tells us an incredible amount of information about the daily life of Oysterponders. Orient has been a destination for leisure and recreation since before the Civil War. But in 1844, when the Long Island Railroad came to Greenport and its terminus was in Greenport, the waves of newcomers and pleasure seekers really increased tremendously. And that's when the golden age of the Long Island boarding house began. We're at the head of Village Lane, which is the heart of the Orient Historic District. In the distance, you see the buttonwood tree across the street, which is said to have been planted by the original settlers of Oysterponds. And in the foreground, the monument is a testament to the Civil War and those from Oysterponds who fought in the Civil War. Village Lane has been the center of Orient since before the Revolution, which consists of our seasonal ice cream parlor, Nina's, our post office, and the Orient Country Store. The Orient Country Store is a local institution where you can pick up a cup of coffee and eggs in the morning, a newspaper, a bottle of soda and cat food, and a healthy dose of local politics. Before the age of cars and travel where you could easily go up island to Greenport to buy something, there were several shoemakers on Village Lane. There were several grocery stores on Village Lane, because everything that you got you had to be able to walk to. Well, we're standing in front of the Orange Webb House, which is set on beautiful Pocatuck Park. It is a witness house to much of local history. Before the Revolution, it was known as the Constant Booth Inn, and George Washington is rumored to have stayed there. Village House is one of the last surviving 19th century boarding houses on Long Island that's open to the public. And it's emblematic of a complete era when people were getting away from the city, getting away from their daily lives to come out here and enjoy the sand and the surf and the sun. The Historical Society has it open to the public for tours. We're currently restoring the building to its former glory and have big plans for interactive exhibitions as well as interpreted period rooms and activities inside. The wharf, which is at the end of Village Lane, has been in operation since long before the Revolution. Augustus Griffin said that it was an ancient wharf in his lifetime, so that gives you a sense of history. It's currently the home of the Orient Yacht Club and used for leisure, but up until maybe about 50 years ago, it was an active commercial dock. You could see our lighthouse, Bug Light, from just about anywhere on the water here on the south side of Orient. It is part of the Orient Beach State Park, and a lot of boaters really like to sort of skirt around Bug Light and take a look at it. One of the wonderful places I like to take my kids is Orient Beach State Park, which is down on the main road between Orient proper and Orient Point. Well, that's a taste of Orient, and I hope you'll come on down and share it with us.